Alright, we've got a Technics DC amplifier. You can do DC straight in, or you can do something they call via tone, which means that you can mess around with the tonal values. But this is the SU-V9. I'm going to go ahead and turn the power on. There's no music playing through it right now. This has been deoxided and also has S5, which is basically a similar product, but evidently it also protects after you apply D100. So let's just kind of look at the imperfections. There's a lot of imperfections. By the way, there's a new Class A, not the old Class A, the new Class A with synchro and biasing. I do want to point out something if you are into analog, and especially if you're into LPs. We have some cool features for that. We've got MM with different megavolts and MC as well. So you've got phono and phono 2, and you've got some different choices for that. So that's definitely a bonus. I don't have my turntable. It's actually in storage right now, as is most of the stuff in my house, except for the stuff that I'm selling. Because we're going to be moving here in about 3 weeks now. So we've got tuner, auxiliary. We'll kind of mess with this and hear if there's any sound, but you can hear that. Oh, there's definitely sound on this, but that's because it's switching between ground and no ground. And obviously we don't have a ground attached because there's no turntable that has or needs a ground or a turntable at all. You've got your different sound or tonal variations right here. We're going to actually turn this to DC instead, and the reason why is because that's really what people want this particular unit for. So just a straight up amplifier. It's not a receiver. We've got a tuner plugged in today to it, so we'll listen to a little bit of radio, and then we've got some Creative Commons music. But if you look right here, tons of marks all over the place. You can see some discoloration right here. I got this in a kind of a group of stereo components from a house about 30 minutes away from my house. To be honest, I almost walked away from it because it was just that ugly. However, the price was very right, so went ahead and grabbed them up. But as you can see right here, I'm trying to show you at different angles because sometimes these scratches showed up different angles. You can see lots of scratches right here, right here. Sides look okay. I'm sure there might be some scratches, but they look pretty good. It looks like this was used as a tabletop as well as a stereo unit. There's that big dent right there. Also, the remote speaker plug is there's a piece of metal here, so you could actually attach a remote if you wanted to, but this has been broken off. All the other ones are present. This is 220 and 110. So actually, it still has the 220 plug. This was from Germany. She said her husband was in the army, and he brought this back. A Technics SL or Q, it doesn't matter, QL-SL1 or something, some other stuff. It was all busted up, to be honest with you. Not busted up actually, but I just didn't have time to fix it, and I had to take it to the Salvation Army. Some of it. I kept this one though, and everything else looks relatively okay. Not okay. It's, I would say, a good looking machine in that if you put this in front, you know, the face in front, you're going to see that. But there are definitely issues that I would have with the back and the bottom, or in the front. So please be aware that all the legs are here, and there's a piece of glass that's missing. There's a little thing that you push, and this thing falls down, I guess. And then there was a piece of glass there, and I guess the weight of the glass would have actually moved that, since there's no weight on there right now. But anyways, let's go ahead and stop talking about it and just kind of listen to it. We'll start with a little radio. I'll turn this down actually because I want to be careful with that. So we'll turn this on. And we've got stereo on. I think it's on a country channel right now. And there we go. Oh, we got to turn it on to tuner.
Other room in the house.
Good, commercial.
Fresh cut Christmas trees starting
For a period of months, which can be expensive, subject to approval.
It's just it's a much different sport to get into now. Network.
Short-term rehabilitation.
There we go. Alright, I'm going to turn that down. I'm not sure if anybody would actually copyright music that sounds that wonderful, but whatever. And then let's go ahead and pop in some of this. We'll start with a little bit of classical music. Oh, really? It's found. And this is on auxiliary.
Loving you feels so good. Guess I knew that it was. I'm walking with you to feel the grass up to our knees. Soft and warm as sunlight, your love takes me to a height that only the gods, the stars, the sun had shared before. And the sun to shine upon us on the
Probably some music would be good. You see right here, this actually just the amount of bass you can turn it up. So if you turn that up, it has a certain amount of bass that it allows, and then you can super bass it up. But I'm just going to keep it at regular. A little bit less hard. Got balance. Got a subsonic filter. I don't know what that does. There's a high filter. That definitely makes a noise. Difference. Mono, stereo. And you'll notice we turn these up. Notice once we turn these up, you could hear they were louder, but once you go back to DC, it goes back to just flat. You can hear that click, and that's a click from remote to main. That's really it. I haven't talked much about it, but I mean it's an amplifier, so it doesn't have a lot of the bells and whistles that something else would have, like a receiver or whatever. You know, you've got different filters for FM, etc., especially some of the older ones. But it definitely has exactly what you want as far as your basic needs, and it's got this cool thing for LP. And to be honest with you, I just have too much stuff, but when I see this, I think, oh, that would make this so awesome, because you could, it doesn't matter what your turntable would be, you can kind of hone it in to the best sound for that. So, anyways, this is a Technics SU-V9 amplifier, and this will be on eBay.